And
Hey, what's up, everybody? It is another episode of Sipping Something Sexy. How are you today, Lynn?
I am fabuloso. How are you?
I'm good. I'm still flying high from the performance yesterday. So
Awesome.
I got one more thing off my bucket list, and it was really great. So what you sipping on, girl, before we bring our guest on?
I am sipping in my official sipping something sexy glass. I am sipping on some Zinfandel today. Yeah.
Well, I have been saving this bottle of Prosecco Rosé because I got it at an event, Phenomenal Woman. And so, because our next guest is a phenomenal woman, I
Yeah.
decided to crack it open today. So, I will be drinking some
Perfect.
Prosecco. Speaking of which, our guest today is a very special woman. We watch her almost every week religiously at the edge of our seat to find out what's going on with her and her life. And there are so many levels to our guest. Everybody, please welcome Holt of Love and Marriage Huntsville, owns one of OWN's number one shows.
Hey, it's Melody, but hi.
Oh,
Hey,
Melanie, I'm sorry.
Melody.
I always say that wrong. Melanie, I'm sorry, Melanie. I'm sorry.
You're
Douche.
good.
Um,
Hey, ladies.
Hey.
now, where are you? Because your hair is blowing in the wind, and I just want to be there.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm actually in Mexico right now.
Nice.
Nice,
Yeah, it has been
enjoying
great.
it.
I've been, I'm on a little quick mini vacay. So it's been great just to relax and take time, to enjoy life, reflect, think, all that good stuff. So it's important for us as women to definitely take time for vacations. And so I've made sure that I do that.
Perfect.
And that's really important, Melanie, because of the mere fact that that actually deals with today, this month being mental health. That was my question. With so much you do so much, how do you sustain your own mental balance? And how do you know when you're off balance? And the last part of that is what do you do to get back on?
So for me, I notice when I'm off balance or my energy has been tampered with, really whenever I get tired, I'm overly sleepy. I am typically, my patience level is not quite as high. So things that I would usually just roll off my shoulder, I'm kind of like that. So that's one way that I recognize when I'm actually kind of off balance when it comes to, like I said, just my energy not being where I'm used to it being. And the way that I get that back on track and try my best to handle it is I take breaks when I need to from social media. So there may be a week or two where I may not even go on social media and I just take a breather when it comes to that. I try to be very particular about who and what I let around me so that my energy is not tampered with as much as possible. So putting those boundaries there, I spend a lot of time by myself, and spending time by myself allows me also, to not really, be in situations where people can upset me, disappoint me, make me angry. And so I found it more, it's very important to me, this day and time, just to make sure that I am operating at my best, and being my best self, because I have 4 children, I have businesses that I'm running, I have people who are expecting me, who are on my team, who've sacrificed and worked hard to help build my brand. So I have people who are depending on me to be my best self every single day, and anything that comes against that, I just get rid of it.
I love it. And it's great that you spoke about team because when you're a team leader, you also take on that responsibility of their own mental health. Do you do anything with your team to help them stay? I've seen you, but to help them stay motivated and
So
balanced.
yeah, so we have a lot of deep conversations about being balanced, about positivity, about manifesting. we have those real conversations. We're there for each other. They know that when they're having a moment, whether it's not business and maybe just personal, they know that they can talk to me and I'll be a listening ear and vice versa. A lot of my team has been with me through my divorce and everything. So we're more like family. And so
Wow.
that two-way communication path is just there when it comes to encourage. We've all heard each other cry on the phone, and we've all encouraged each other in moments that life throws our way. And so, we check in and we always make sure we're good. We talk every day.
Lynn?
Awesome. That's awesome, Melody. Awesome. Awesome.
So, one of the things that Lynn and I talk a lot about as it relates to mental health is this whole transparency and really being honest with yourself so that you don't build those layers of denial. Would you like to add to that?
Absolutely. For me, especially, when I came to the reality TV world, I was adamant about being transparent, being honest, being authentic. And I truly feel that it's by way of transparency that people can see that they're not alone, where we as a race, the human race, can understand that we're not in our situations alone. We're not the first. Oh, my battery. Okay, we're not the first when it comes to certain things. We won't be the last when it comes to certain things. So it's not you personally. It's just nothing's wrong with you personally. It's just things that happen in life. And so I think that unfortunately social media can paint this picture that everybody's life is perfect, right? You kind of get to tell the story that you want to tell. And I make it my business to tell the truth and forget what people thought would look the best, but honesty and transparency. And so I'm a firm believer that, if you're not doing that, you're masking things, you're not truly happy within because you know that you're masking things and you know that there are issues and situations. But by way of being honest, by way of being true to you and true to where you are in life, that's the only way to truly grow.
Oh, girl, I agree with you 200%. Woo! Let's get an applause on that one, Jamaica, because that was some real truth right there. I mean,
I actually want to chime in on that, Amelia, what Melody said
sure.
about transparency and authenticity. So, ironically, I was in a relationship last year and I showed up so transparent and authentic. I think I scared him. And because I think people are not really used to dealing with you. They say they want the real you, they want your transparent, authentic self. And then when you show up, like I'm a real person and I'm a lot. Like I know I'm extra, right? So I know coming to the table, me being a boss, a bit of a diva, a little bit of a drama queen. You know what I mean? I have a little bit of stuff going on there, but I was straight up and honest about it. And they originally said that's what they wanted. Bring your authentic self. And then when I showed up with no filter, straight up, they was like, wait, slow down. I don't know what to do with all this. Oh my God. Like they fell back. And I think that all of us have to realize that coming out of this whole pandemic situation, we all have little mental health issues that have been brought to light in these past 2 years that you maybe didn't realize were there before, and now they've come to the surface. So you have to change your lifestyle in these 2 years. So I definitely agree with what you're saying. I think that we all need some sort of help at some time. We need to be in therapy, and we all need to be working to become our greater, better self.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you mentioned therapy, because that's one thing that I'm an advocate for. I talk about it very
Me too.
often on my social media platforms. It's so important to understand that there are professionals who are trained, who work different cases every day, all day. So your case and situation is probably not for them. And they've probably been able to see what things work, what work, and what ones don't because they've been doing this for a while and they've seen, the same thing over and over. So I am a
Exactly.
firm believer that it's important to have a therapist, even if at times things seem to be going great in your life, right? Therapy doesn't always mean running when something's wrong. You should be doing
Exactly.
therapy for check-ins because life happens. deaths in your family happen, career success happens, and sometimes you just need to talk to people to understand and see how you deal with all of these changes. You have children, you get married, you get divorced. There are so many changes, right, that happen in our life on a regular. And so I'm a firm believer. Sometimes we try to put that responsibility on the mate or the love interest that's in our life, that they're the person that's supposed to be our therapist, hear all our troubles and give us all the answers. And that burden is too much of a burden, in my opinion, to really carry.
Yes.
And that's what a therapist is there for. So I did an interview recently with People Magazine, and they were asking me about dating. And I said that, one thing for me is not your therapist. If you need to talk to somebody, you need to go talk to your therapist about your issues or your healing that needs to take place, your abandonment issues, whatever it may be. Because that's not my burden to carry.
Exactly.
Right. And that level of honesty, actually, I feel is what substantiates a relationship. You know, being in a relationship is that exchange, but therapy is a different kind of exchange
That's right.
because you know what I. Yeah, they actually listen more and they actually allow you to hear yourself. Sometimes when you're in a conversation, you're hearing the other person, but you're not necessarily hearing yourself. And what I found the
Yeah.
differentiating factor between therapy and actually just dumping on somebody is that
Yeah.
therapy, there you actually have an opportunity to listen to you and hear what you're saying about yourself. When you did your therapy, what was the thing that you most learned about you? Plus and
One
minus.
of the things that I learned most about me was that I had abandonment issues that I needed to deal with. And
Mm.
those abandonment issues, that's one reason too that I've chosen to spend more time by myself past year than I have my whole life, because I needed to learn how to sit with myself and be okay with that. Because whenever you're not okay with that, you hold on to relationships that are dead, that are toxic, that have been ended, that should be over, friendships that should be over. You hold on to it because you feel like, I don't want to feel that feeling of abandonment. I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be by myself. But whenever you learn to love yourself and be okay with being by yourself, it's much easier to cut off things when you see that they are not beneficial to you and your growth as a person.
So exactly. We're
I
gonna
love
take a
that.
second. Girl, I'm just loving you.
Oh yeah.
Really,
Yes.
really. I knew this was going to be everything, but it really is because people need to hear
Everything.
this. Before we go into the next subject, we got to pay the bills. So you're watching Sipping Something Sexy on Sunday with co-hosts Brooklyn Ford, and myself, Amelia Ismore. And this in particular segment is sponsored by Sound Ideas Studios. We'll be right back. Don't go away. We're back. Okay, for the listeners that are like, "Where's my music break?" Unfortunately, our producer's computer crashed with all this music, so that's why you're not hearing your fun theme music. And I love that people actually love the theme music. How fun is that? So we were talking about, the importance of transparency, the importance of therapy, acknowledging that this is mental health month, and the difference between actually having therapy versus having somebody that you can vent with. You do so many businesses. I would love for you to share with our audience the juggling act that you actually do because it's amazing. Starting with mom, like that's such a huge job, and going through what you've gone through, you sustain it. It's so beautiful. I commend you for that.
For me, of course, I do have multiple things that I have going on in my life. I am a mother of 4 as well. And what I pretty much do when it comes to sustaining and maintaining is that I multitask a lot. I involve my children with things that I have going on, so it becomes a family affair. So, that's a part of that multitasking. We're spending time with them, but we're also getting work done. I'm also getting things done that I need to handle. And when I do need to break away and have time for just ourselves. However, it's super important for us to do that.
Agreed.
I
Now,
agree.
you have some books coming out, and I would like for you to speak about that. And how difficult is it to publish, to be published, and to like make certain that your messaging stays your messaging? Because sometimes, from marketing and stuff, you get your messaging sometimes gets lost. And I've seen that with other authors, but that's not the case with you.
So I actually recently wrote a foreword for a book called Pretty and Prestigious that actually came out. There's a book signing in Dallas, Texas in July for that. So I was honored to write a foreword for those beautiful ladies. I do have my book, God Said Go, which is actually coming out as well. For me, it's very clear and easy for me to make sure that my message and my branding and my marketing is the way that I want it to be, because I stay in charge of it. I am very particular about my brand. I'm very particular in terms of making sure everything lines up with who I am and being true to who I am, whether that means today I'm the serial entrepreneur, or tomorrow I'm the beauty mogul, or today I'm the swimsuit model, and tomorrow I'm the mom of four. I do all of those things. And I show that as a woman, you can't put me in a box. Like, I'm going to do every piece of melody that's within me, whether that's, like I said, the business male, the sexy male, the mom male, all of that. You're going to see all of that. And so, anything that I do as it pertains to my brand as a whole, I always make sure that it lines up and is true to who I am.
And a lot of that, one of the key words that you said in regards to that I really appreciate was that you are in control of that. So many times, women in business, they don't necessarily take the bull by its horns. They refer to other people, and then they're like, I didn't say that, or I didn't want that. How important is communication, and what lessons have you learned in communication to sustain the control without being controlling?
So I think it goes back to your team. So my team knows, before they post a picture, before they put anything out, they're going to run it by me. And it very well may be like, oh, that looks great, perfect. Or it may be, no, not that picture. Let's use this picture, right? Let's use this verbiage. So at the end of the day, I don't think it comes off as controlling to them, but they understand. They'll tell you, oh, Melody's very particular, And I think having respect for your client, knowing your client, and understanding that it's okay for them to be particular. I think that is why my team and I get along so well.
And it's okay. That's the part that I love. Yeah, that's the part that I love. Lynn?
Yeah, I just want to say that I think that's an awesome thing, because you have to be in control of your narrative, right? It's your brand, it's the image, it's the perception that you want people to have of you. So if you're not in control of that, then unfortunately, as you said, social media snatches onto things, latches onto things, and then spins the story so crazy. You just be sitting there like, I did what? When? Like, it's just, they make up things out of nowhere. So as long as you're the person that's in control, you be particular. You be very, very particular about what pictures go out, what imaging goes out, what stories go out, what stories don't go out. Some things are too private, and you don't need all your business on social media. And I don't think that the whole world has learned that yet. They still think that everything is for everybody, and it's not.
Right.
A good point, Lynn. In the reality show, I think it was so cool that you really was so transparent, going through a very hardship, which is the divorce. But it seemed like there was so much compassion people had for you. Did you feel that it was because of your transparency? And what advice would you give others that are going through a divorce as far as to sustain that balance?
So I feel like the reason there was so much compassion is because there were so many women who could relate, and they literally saw everything playing out on television. So they saw what was going on. They were able to see through and read through a lot of some of the BS that was being done, to me, towards me. And because of that, I think that women stood up and were like, hey, this ain't cool. Like, no. So it became a we team man, right? And so that for sure, is what drew in a lot of the compassion. And for anyone going through divorce, my thing would be, of course, you don't move until God says so. Not when people
Deep.
should divorce or you should move on or when you should leave or what's enough. You determine that for yourself. But be honest in where you are. And even if that's like, you know what, right now I know this dude ain't treating me right, but I'm gonna give him another year. Then that's fine. Be honest in that, right? But don't move until you feel like God says go. And divorce is not easy. However, there's a whole different level of peace that comes about whenever you know that you moved when God said for you to go move forward.
Amen.
Can I just jump in there? Because real talk, Melody. So now a lot of women that I know are in a space of they've they've already been through a relationship or they've been through a divorce, whatever the case may be. And in this moment right now, they have their life together, whether it's career and family, and the only thing they don't have is the relationship. And I've heard so many women say, I'm not willing to give up my peace to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
Wow. Like that, because there's a little bit of a trade off there. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be, right? I don't think so. You tell me if I'm wrong. I
No,
don't
it
think it should
shouldn't
be,
be, but it's one of
but
those
it
things
is.
that's honest and real.
That's right.
I take vacations by myself most of the time, and people ask me, "Girl, how do you travel across the country? How do you do all this by yourself?" And it's easy. It's peaceful. I don't have an argument with nobody on the plane headed here. I ain't gonna have no argument with nobody on the plane when I'm leaving. I'm not gonna
Right.
debate with nobody on what we're gonna eat today, where we're gonna go today, what you want to do, what I want to do, what you don't want to do, what I don't want to do. It's very easy. It's peaceful. It's simple, and I love it. I love it. So, I think that we just have to get okay with, like I said, doing things on our own by ourselves.
Yes. I'm with you. I'm gonna have a sip with you on that one, Melody. Yes. Yes, girl. Yes.
Sina, we're talking about relationships, and it is a compromise. Lots of times women tend to bend more, because of the mere fact that we are nurturers. And that's like a really transparent aspect of our nurturing, right? Because sugar and spice and everything nice and all of this. But what I'm finding is that women are now setting standards for themselves. Like, he has to be able to do XYZ, elemental P, QRS. What do you say to the women that are out there that set these standards, but don't necessarily have it for themselves?
I think it's important because you got to know you can't expect somebody to treat you in a way that you don't even treat yourself. So when I travel out of town, like I'm on a walkout suite, the best view by myself for myself. So I'm big on treating yourself the way you want other people to treat you. And what you give out is what you get back. What you dish to the universe is what you get back. So I'm gonna continue to dish out self-love as it pertains to me. Self-love, right? The highest level of love, because that's what I expect to receive in return. So it's just highly important for you to have standards, but for you to also be willing to meet those standards for yourself before you're expecting another human to meet those for you. Because they're going to be like, well, I'm going to do something for her that she don't even do for herself. She don't even care about herself enough to do that. So why would I?
Exactly. And the other part about it too is sometimes, in just speaking, because I hang out with my brothers 24/7, right? Sometimes in talking with them honestly and candidly, they feel like it's like an unfair balance and that they're being judged, but that person's not doing the same thing that they're asking of them. And so they've now started, because I've been talking a lot with them a lot, they've now been starting to set their own standard. And I was like, that makes more sense because that'll avoid some of the drama that you're putting yourself into, hoping that things will be different. It is what it is for a reason, and ask those critical questions.
Absolutely.
Do you have, when you're on a date, do you have any set questions? Because I feel like when you're dating, it's like an application for a job, right? And the representative shows up.
So what's interesting is I'm actually not dating right now, by choice. date intentionally. You know what I mean? Be intentional about your date. Don't be afraid. I think sometimes as women tend to sometimes be afraid to ask certain things, so they're going to scare the man off, or they're going to push them away. I mean, if some little questions gonna scare them off and push them away, they ain't the one anyway, sis.
That part, exactly. That part. I love it. I
Then
love
we'll
it.
walk around carrying the burden of, dang, I wanted to ask this, dang, I should have asked that. If you can't even ask certain questions on the first date, how are you gonna have deep conversations about real problems, real situations that may rise up in a long-term relationship if you can't even communicate simple stuff? So
Very true. Very true. And a lot of that is a reflection of the young lady herself. You know, her own personal self-esteem, that she doesn't understand the value of her to the point to ask these valuable questions, because they are necessary. And the sooner you ask it, the better you feel, because now that's off your mind. And this is what I love to talk to women about. The sooner you get some of these critical things that's been gnawing at the back of your head off, because you've asked them, you don't have to think about it anymore. So I just want to make the announcement that if anybody wants to ask any questions, please dial 347-305-520. Goodness, I am just off today. It's 347-305-520. Thank you. It's a 5, not a 2 at the end, guys. Sorry about that. And also, we're going to go into our second break. So you are watching Sipping Something Sexy on Sunday with Brooklyn and Amelia is More on twitch.tv/IMD Mecca, as well as She's the Boss Radio. We'll be right back. And we're back. So, you know what? We didn't ask you what you were sipping on. You said you was going to go get something. So what are you sipping on?
girl, I got some champagne.
All right. Yeah.
That is
Melody
totally
is
sexy.
right in line. Melody is right in line with the program. We love it. We love it.
Sipping champagne on the balcony in Mexico. That's sexy. Ow!
Absolutely.
With the wind blowing through your hair.
Looking fabulous, we might add. Looking fabulous, Melody, we might add. You look so at peace and beautiful.
So, you know, this gives me a little break to sit down for a minute.
Awesome.
Exactly. So, you know, we went, just before we went into break, we talked about self-esteem, and it's quite evident that you are definitely in love with you. You definitely have your balance, and you articulated that it is a roller coaster ride. But the definition of beauty, what would you say to yourself is the definition of beauty?
I would say for me, beauty is everything with you. You are beauty. You got to recognize it, and got to live it like you know it. But each of us have beauty within us. Y'all do.
With all the outreach that you've done with women and just people that listen to podcasts and everything, what do you, and as well as your show, what do you feel is the underline? Like, I took the word bitch, right? And gave a different acronym for it. To me, if you call me a bitch because I am a tough cookie, that means that you're saying that I'm a beautiful, intelligent, talented corporate hustler, right? Do you ever give out advice to individuals and help them understand how to define themselves, or do you give them something that allows them to understand how to define themselves or their own beauty?
Well, I mean, when it comes to defining yourself, or it comes to learning yourself and who you are, that goes back to what I mentioned earlier about spending time with yourself, having that alone time with yourself. You know, I've learned more about myself the past year, and I've been by myself for the past year than I've been my whole life. And that is truly where you start to learn and love you.
Exactly. Now let's talk about your beauty line because I'm the understanding that you're coming out with your own beauty line.
Well, I have a skincare line, Seventh Avenue Premier Skincare. I launched it in February. It has been doing amazingly well. It's natural, vegan. I actually linked with a black chemist, female chemist. She's been a chemist for over 18 years. I have a
Nice.
cleanser, toner, moisturizer, lip primer, milk bath, and recently we launched my body scrub, body lotion, body oil, body butter. And so it has been doing amazingly well. It's been well received. I think one of the things that my consumers enjoy and love is that one, they know I'm not going to put out anything that is that doesn't work, and two, the fact that I didn't just put a label on something. I actually have been a part of the process with my chemist to create products that actually work. And so Seventh Avenue Premier Care has been doing amazing. I have a lipstick line where I'm partnered with Posner Cosmetics, and
Nice.
Nice.
so thank you. And so it has been doing well. We just came out with our summer shades actually, and so life is good. Life is good.
It
You know,
sounds like it. It sounds like it. I need to see all those lipstick shades, Boo. I need to see all of it. The
Yeah.
scrubs, the exfoliants. I need all of that. I need all of that.
PosnerCosmetics.com. Yeah,
Okay.
PosnerCosmetics.com for the lipstick, 7th Avenue Skin.com for skincare.
now the melanated skin is definitely different than the unmelanated. Is a given fact. In your ingredients and in your line, did you concentrate on that with the chemist? Because like some of the moisturizing that we need, the acceptability as far as us being able to take in the sun rays, but then still needing some protection, not as much as others. Were those some of the things that you took in account for with doing the makeup? And my second part of that question is when you're deciding on the colors and the palettes for each season, where do you get that motivation from?
So for the colors and palettes, I really go off of things that I like. So everything I put out reflects the colors that I would enjoy different, or that was already last year's for the different seasons. And as it pertains to my skincare line, we don't focus on sunscreen measures per se. However, we have natural ingredients. All of our facial products are paraben free, so we're big on healthy skin, right? We're big on taking care of your skin so that you can age well, but also healthy skin. And so that was our main focus as it pertained to the skincare.
Yeah, and body buddies is so important. People don't realize, as you get older, as far as the collagen and everything else, making sure that you keep your skin moisturized is like critically important for the elasticity and elongation of just looking really healthy.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Is there a beauty tip you can give us?
Huh?
Because we lose estrogen. So I'm just saying, especially for women, we lose estrogen as we get older. So we need to keep everything else going that helps to keep our hormonal balance straight. And our skin is the first thing that tells it. Our skin is the first thing that shows when there's some sort of balance that's off. So thank you for, I'm glad that Posner got on board with you and did this, because Posner has long time. I mean, I grew up with Posner in my hair. So I'm just saying, it's a long-standing relationship in our community, so I'm really glad that you are partnered with them to make this
They are
happen.
amazing. Yeah, they are amazing. So I'm partnering with them for my lipsticks, and yes, they are amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And they're one of the premiers when it comes to that. They know about the right level, because what people don't realize is lipstick is really important, as far as the makeup of it, because it's the gateway. You have a lot of different bacteria on your lips and stuff like that. So proper care of your lipstick, exchanging it, et cetera, and what it's made of, the chemicals itself. And I'm loving that yours is vegan, actually affects how you digest it. And a lot of people don't realize that some of the stay makeups, when I was doing a research on it, some of the chemicals to make it stay is actually carcinogens. And so that's really not healthy. Like you're
Right.
really helping yourself to get ill instead of healthy. What beauty tip could you give us?
Take care of your skin on a daily, right? We use time to do so many other things, especially as women. Sometimes we don't even take the time to just sit in the bathtub and relax. You know what I mean? At least once a week. But take some time for yourself. Take care of yourself. Your skin is the largest organ on your body. Take care of
Exactly. I know for me right now with losing weight, I'm looking more towards a holistic side. So I've been looking at juicing and different things of that sort that actually supplements the daily routines that I do. And I agree with you. It is about taking the time. Is there anything else that we have not asked of you before we go into other questions that you want to make sure that you communicate with our listeners?
No, I just want to say, I really enjoyed it. I thank you guys so much. I think y'all did a great job. Y'all are amazing. And information and gems you dropped today will help someone else and encourage, who are watching, encourage you guys to, be okay with focusing on yourself, be okay with loving yourself, be okay with learning how to be by yourself. Because life is beautiful and you should be enjoying it. You should be at peace. You should be in a good space. You should have high vibrations around you. So be,
Absolutely.
you're okay with cutting off things that are toxic, cutting off things that are not helping you to grow or helping you to heal, and just enjoy your life.
I love that you said that about the toxic people because Lynn and I, we talk about that incessantly, right? I love to break it down and say, I'm a giver. So I love to help people. I love to, give whatever I can, whether it be to the community, their business, whatever. It doesn't matter. But I found that I had to really pay attention to who I was giving to. Because as a giver, I have a responsibility to the cycle of giving. And if I give to a taker, I won't receive, and all I'll become is drained. What were some of the lessons that you learned as far as removing toxic people from your circle, and what were some of the criteria that you defined as being toxic?
Anything that's not helping my
That's succinct.
That's it. What she said is real. What she said is real and it's straight to the point. You can't keep toxic people in your circle. And the other part of that is, or I think the first part of that, is setting boundaries. The same way we said that, we can do this and we're women and we can do and go. As women, we tend to give and nurturers and all that great stuff. And we keep pouring into other people's cup, but nobody's pouring back into our cup. So our cup ends up being empty and we can't even replenish ourselves because we've given everything away to everybody else. So first things first, I think you need to set some boundaries. Know what you're not going to allow. Know what you're not going to allow so that you don't allow yourself to get drained. Protect thyself. Self-preservation. Rule number 1.
Absolutely.
Exactly. There's a lot to be said about, I interviewed just recently Lynette Cookie Williams. She was on Trap Queen, right? And we were talking about this whole idea of feminine versus women empowerment, and if they're one and the same or if they're different. So I would love, because you circle and surround yourself with such positivity, I would love for you to chime in on that as well. Do you feel there is a difference? And if there is, how do we continue this whole women empowerment movement?
If there's a difference in what?
Feminism versus women empowerment.
I think it's all, like it all works in the same way. And the way to continue to move it is for, those of us who have platforms who are in position to continue the movement of those things, us actually doing that. And encouraging those who are coming up to be willing to do the same.
Exactly. And I just feel like with women empowerment is just helping women understand who they are. Let them define themselves. And the more that we can do that, whether it be positioning us repositioning us the way that we need to be positioned, or redefining us so that people truly understand our perspective of ourselves, and not let someone else define us, that becomes the beginning steps of true female empowerment. Because like what you had mentioned earlier, it's about the control. And it's not to be controlling, but it's be able to make sure that reflection in the mirror is really the reflection of the internal self, not the external self.
Yep.
Would you agree?
Yep, absolutely.
I love it. Lynn, you have a question?
No, I'm just chiming in on what you said, and it's absolutely true. It's absolutely true and correct. Like I said, I think we need to maintain boundaries. It's kind of hard to set boundaries because some people don't even realize that they don't have boundaries. So first, set some boundaries, and try to take care of thyself. I think that's the first thing we need to do. This one with the yay.
I know. Okay, Dee. Um, you know, as far as we know about the beauty line, we know
So I
about the
have an
book
appointment
coming
that
up.
starts in 15 minutes. So I need to, and that's why I told Yvonne I could do 15, 20 minutes because I know I have to go somewhere else.
Not a problem. Not a problem. I didn't realize that because I kept on telling her it was an hour, but it's cool. So this will be the last question. Just let everybody know where they can reach you, and then Lynn and I will finish the show.
Okay, absolutely. So I'm on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of that good stuff. I know y'all all on it. Melody S. Holt, MELODY SHOLT. Make sure you follow me. I post positive things on a regular, encouraging things on a regular. I do a lot of giveaways on a regular. So, definitely make sure you follow me so that you can stay in the loop in terms of what I have going on, what I'm doing, and also so you can, get blessed as well.
And that was going to be the last segment that I was going to talk to you about is just the responsibility of giving back, but you just surmised it. So I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. If
Thank you,
there's anything
Melody.
that if there's anything that we can do to help it continue empowering you and support you, please don't hesitate to ask us. We really do love to reflect and expound on women such as yourself, so that the image that's out there, the definitions that's out there, the messaging that's out there actually gives our young girls the power of choice. Because that's really what you're giving them. Being
Thank you.
you, they're able to choose a different perspective.
Absolutely. Thank you. And you guys were so amazing. So thank you for having me today.
Anytime, Melody. Please come
All
back
right,
when you have more
take
time. We
care.
would love to have you and continue this conversation.
All right. Thank you. Y'all have a great Sunday.
You too now, babe. Continue to
You
enjoy.
too. Bye bye. Wow,
All right.
that was a lot. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. So what's
You're
next
loving
for
it.
you, Lynn? How is the rest of the week looking like?
Mm. Well, I'm back on writing. I'm kind of back on track now. I'm fully recovered. I'm back from vacation. I'm no longer sick. So it's just a lot of writing right now, getting ready to start, getting back on my script, getting back on my web series, getting everything back that, kind of fell to the wayside for the last couple of weeks because of personal things. So that's what I'm getting ready to do. I'm going to be writing and still traveling and working on doing some events down here in South Florida now.
Nice. Excellent. Excellent. Well, I'll be coming down there pretty soon. So I'll let you know all the details. So,
Okay.
yeah, it'll be fun to do a show together in the same room. Woohoo! Imagine
Absolutely.
that.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
Well, hey, D Mecca, did anybody check in on the chat? Because I couldn't pull it up today.
No, there were people in the chat, but nobody left no questions or anything. So, but
Got you.
I guess they were busy listening to Melody
And
and all the jewels she was
yeah.
dropping.
yes,
Hey, Mecca, how was your event that you did in Boston?
I am right here, right now, with the she was standing right here with the queen of the hour. It was my niece's birthday, graduation, and
Congratulations, another
Yes,
one. Yeah.
congratulations.
I forgot where she. Hey, Big Eddie.
But I think you have to go pay the bills, Amelia.
Huh? Oh, that's right. You are.
She's going to.
We gotta pay the bills right quick, D, and then we'll come back and holler at her and just see how her graduation, what it feels like. But right
Exactly.
now, you are listening to Sipping Something Sexy on Sundays. I am your host, Amelia Moore, with my co-host Brooklyn Ford and our producer, I am D Mecca, in the building. You can watch us on twitch.tv/IMDMecca or she's the boss radio.com. We'll be right back. And we're back. Where's my co-host, Lee Lynn, Brooklyn? So, Mecca, where is the graduate?
Stand right here. And let's see where we. Oh,
Don't you love technology? We can do all these fun things. She's like, why did you put me on blast? Hello. Welcome, and congratulations.
Thank you.
So what did you graduate with?
like what's your major?
Yes.
My major is gonna be sports management and kinesiology.
Nice.
Fantastic.
And are you going on to another? Is it another school now you're going to go to?
I'm gonna go to Clark Atlanta.
Okay, since we couldn't hear that, did you say you're going to Clark, Atlanta?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, big things to go on. Congratulations. That's a great school. Wonderful HBCU right there. So definitely much success to you. And go hard or go home. All right? These next 4 years mean everything. You're going to have a lot of fun, but it's going to be a lot of work. So go ahead and do this and come out on top. Okay?
Thank you.
And so here's your moment to shine.
Don't encourage the second part, all right? Listen.
Look, big uncle hitting it. Wait, hold on. So this is your moment to shine. If there's anybody that you want to shout out, anybody you want to just make them like, oh damn, this is your moment. Go ahead and the floor is yours.
I don't have
No. She said no. I have no one.
Not your graduating class at least. No,
Family,
she's like
friends, bestie, boyfriend, no one. Okay, just shout
she said,
yourself
I'm
out
just
there.
out. I'm gonna stay maintained. I'm gonna stay focused right now. It's me, myself, and I, because I got big plans. I love
Okay.
that. Well, Queen, continued success to you.
Thank
Well,
you.
I think that's about our show today, Lynn. Yes. I think that's about our show today.
Yeah, I don't know where my co-host is. We can't see her, but I can hear her. Yeah. So I think we want to shout out who are our sponsors, Amelia. I know we have Buzz Builder and we also have Sapphire Entertainment, but who else were our sponsors for the day?
Oh, yes. Shout out to SIP NYC. We look forward to doing the future endeavors with you.
Yes.
Sipping Something Sexy has been invited to Mary J. Blige's tasting for her new liquor. So we'll be talking more about that in the future. So we're making moves and we're doing things, y'all. And really, to be honest with you, one of the reasons why we love one of the reasons why we love SIP NYC is because they're really focusing on Black wine and spirit companies. It's not to say that everybody's not got good liquor, but if we really are talking about empowering ourselves and keeping our dollars within our community, we must stay knowledgeable on the people that are doing things that live within our community so that that dollar can circulate within our community before going out of our community. Like if you have if you have a Dom Perignon, have a Bel Air, and Bel Air is good. So that's all I'm saying.
Bel Air is really good. Bel Air is really good. So yes, we're gonna try to get this whole Black Wall Street thing going again, and this is just amazing. Shout out to OG Garcia, we love you. Shout out to our producer D Mecca, thank you for making this all happen. We appreciate you as well. Shout out again to Buzz Builder. That's my girl Amelia Ismore right there, the hostess with the
Shout out to
mostest.
Chef DR too.
Shout out to Chef DR. He's been doing a lot of things. You keeping up with him
Yes,
online? He's been doing a lot of stuff. And
he's
shout out to Sapphire Entertainment, and shout out to everybody that watches us. Thank you guys for following us. Big shout out again, once again, to Melody as Holt for coming through. Like, that's the big things go on right there. You know, she took time out from her staycation, from OWN Network and TV to come hang with us a little bit. So definitely check her out. Show love. Follow her. Follow us as we do our Sipping Something Sexy Sunday.
And also shout out to Lakita and the whole team at She's the Boss Radio. We love you guys. We heard the conference call. We're going to be on the next conference call. We're definitely going to be on the next conference call. But sorry we missed it. I didn't really know about it, but it's all good. But, you know, thanks for the love. We really appreciate you guys. And, you know, let's get this rocking. Right?
Let's get it rocking. Absolutely.
Well, but that's all, folks. That's show number 7. Lynn, can you stand it?
We keep doing it, y'all. We keep doing it.
We're going to be in double digits in a minute. We're going to be in double digits in a minute.
I know. And the guests are going to get greater and greater. And it's just going to be a fabulous thing. So for me, down in South Florida, it is I, still the one and only Brooklyn Ford, and my co-host with the most, Amelia Ismore.
More up in Harlem. That's what it is. The Black Renaissance. We're going to keep it going. Till next time, y'all. The 4th Sunday of the month. We'll see you again.
2 weeks, y'all. Peace.